Today we're going to read the Wikipedia page for the Soviet Union. Why, you may ask? I don't know. The Soviet Union, officially the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, was a socialist state that spanned most of Europe and Asia during its existence, from 1922 to 1991. It was nominally a federal union of multiple national republics. In practice, its government and economy were highly centralized until its final years. The country was a one-party state prior to 1990, governed by the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, with Moscow as its capital within its largest and most populous republic, the Russian SFSR. Other major urban centers are Leningrad, Russian FSSR, Kiev, Ukraine SSR, Minsk, Belarusian SSR, Tashkent, Uzbek SSR, Alma-Ata, Kazakh SSR, and Novosibirsk, Russian SFSR. It was the largest country in the world, covering over 22,402,200 square kilometers and spanning 11 time zones. The Soviet Union's 5 biomes were tundra, taiga, steppes, desert, and mountains. Its diverse population was officially known as the Soviet people. The Soviet Union had its roots in the October Revolution of 1917, when the Bolsheviks, headed by Vladimir Lenin, overthrew the provisional government that earlier replaced the monarchy of the Russian Empire. They established the Russian Soviet Republic, beginning a civil war between the Bolshevik Red Army and many anti-Bolshevik forces across the former empire, among whom the largest faction was the White Guard, which engaged in violent anti-communist repression against the Bolsheviks and their worker and peasant supporters, known as the White Terror. The Red Army expanded and helped local Bolsheviks take power, establishing Soviets, repressing their political opponents and rebellious peasants through Red Terror. By 1922, the Bolsheviks had emerged victorious, forming the Soviet Union with the unification of Russia, Transcaucasia, Ukraine, and Belarusian republics. The new economic policy, NEP, which was introduced by Lenin, led to a partial return of free market and private property. This resulted in a period of economic recovery. Following Lenin's death in 1924, Joseph Stalin came to power. Stalin suppressed all political opposition to his rule inside the Communist Party and inaugurated a command economy. As a result, the country underwent a period of rapid industrialization and forced collectivization, which led to significant economic growth, but also led to a man-made famine in 1932 to 1933, and it expanded the Gulag labor system, officially established in 1918. Stalin also fomented political paranoia and induced the Great Purge to remove his actual and perceived opponents from the party through mass arrests of military leaders, Communist Party members, and ordinary citizens alike, who were then sent to labor camps or sentenced to death. On the 23rd of August 1939, after unsuccessful efforts to form an anti-fascist alliance with the Western powers, the Soviets signed the Non-Aggression Agreement with Nazi Germany. After the start of World War II, the formerly neutral Soviets invaded and annexed territories of several Eastern European states, including Poland and the Baltic states. In June of 1941, the Germans invaded, opening the largest and bloodiest theater of war. Soviet war casualties accounted for the highest proportion of the conflict, and the cost of acquiring the upper hand over Axis forces at intense battles such as Stalingrad. Soviet forces eventually captured Berlin and won World War II in Europe on May 9, 1945. The territory overtaken by the Red Army became satellite states of the Eastern Bloc. Cold War emerged in 1947 as a result of post-war Soviet dominance in Eastern Europe, where the Eastern Bloc confronted the Western Bloc that unified the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Following Stalin's death in 1953, a period known as de-Stalinization and the Khrushchev Thaw occurred under the leadership of Nikita Khrushchev. The country developed rapidly as millions of peasants moved into industrialized cities. The USSR took an early lead in a space race with the first ever satellite and the first human spaceflight and the first probe to land on another planet, Venus. In the 1970s, there was a brief detente of relations between the United States, but tensions resumed when the Soviet Union deployed troops in Afghanistan in 1947. The war drained economic resources and was matched by an escalation of military aid to Mujahideen fighters. In the mid-1980s, the last Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, sought to further reform and liberalize the economy through his policies of glasnost and perestroika. The goal was to preserve the Communist Party while reversing economic stagnation. The Cold War ended during his tenure, and in 1989, Warsaw Pact countries in Eastern Europe overthrew their respective Marxist-Leninist regimes. In particular, the indecisive action of Eastern Bloc rulers after the Pan-European picnic caused the fall of the Iron Curtain, which shattered the formerly powerful communist unity. This led to the rise of strong nationalist and separatist movements inside the USSR as well. Central authorities initiated a referendum, boycotted by the Baltic republics, Armenia, Georgia, and Moldova, which resulted in the majority of participating citizens voting in favor of preserving the Union as a renewed federation. In 1991, a coup d'etat was attempted by Communist Party hardliners. It failed. Russian President Boris Yeltsin playing a high-profile role in facing down the coup, resulting in the ban of the Communist Party. On the 25th of December 1991, Gorbachev resigned, and the remaining 12 constituent republics emerged from the dissolution of the Soviet Union as independent post-Soviet states. The Russian Federation, formerly the Russian SFSR, assumed the Soviet Union's rights and obligations and is recognized as its continued legal personality. The USSR produced many significant social and technological achievements and innovations of the 20th century. The country had the world's second largest economy and largest standing military in the world. The USSR was recognized as one of the 5 nuclear weapons states. It was a founding permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, as well as a member of the OSCE, the WFTU, and a leading member of the Council for Mutual Economic Assistance and the Warsaw Pact. Before its dissolution, the USSR had maintained its status as one of the world's 2 superpowers for 4 decades after World War II, sometimes called Soviet Empire. It exercised its hegemony in Eastern Europe and worldwide with military and economic strength, proxy conflicts, and influence in developing countries and funding scientific research, especially in the space race, in space technology and weaponry. And that's it, since I'm not gonna read this entire thing. Like, I'm not insane.